129. Ki yeshmera Shabbat el yishmereini. Ki yeshmera Shabbat el yishmereini. Oti le'omead beino uveini. Oti le'omead beino uveini. Ki yeshmera Shabbat el yishmereini. Ki yeshmera Shabbat el yishmereini. Oti le'omead beino uveini. Oti le'omead beino uveini. One more time. Ki yeshmera Shabbat el yishmereini. Ki yeshmera Shabbat el yishmereini. Oti le'omead beino uveini. Oti le'omead beino uveini.
Shabbat Shalom. Good Shabbos to all of you. It's nice to see you after such a beautiful week. We had such hot weather last week, and this week it's been almost idyllic, including today. But it's good to see you. A special shout out. We have a wonderful, happy occasion we're celebrating tonight. It is the 65th wedding anniversary of Wolf and Donna, sitting right here in front. And we are so happy. What's the secret? What's the secret to 65 years? What's that? Just keep going, one foot in front of the other, right? Well, we are so happy for you. And in honor of that, how about a Shechianu? Would you do Shechianu?
Shechianu! Oh, not that.
Sing it. And please join us. In honor of Wolf and Donna.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehechianu v'kiyamanu v'higiyanu lazman hazeh. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehechianu v'kiyamanu v'higiyanu lazman hazeh. Amen.
Happy anniversary. I'm going to write it down. Say it again, Donna. 1 foot in front of the other. Maybe I'll make it to 65 years. Okay, we are going to light our Shabbat candles, and to do us that honor, I'm going to invite one of our newer members, but someone who's already become an active presence at CBS, Wendy Cochran. And the blessing is on page 120, if you'd like to follow along.
I do want to thank everybody for welcoming me so wonderfully. It's been
You're welcome.
an incredible experience so far. I'm not leaving Napa. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech olam asher kedshanu b'mitzvotav v'zivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen.
Good Shabbos.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kedshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner להדליק נר של שבת.
Page 128. Before we sing Yedid Nefesh, I just wanted to highlight the word Yedid in this song. Yedidut in modern Hebrew means friendship. Yedid is a friend, like the word Haver, it's a friend. And there are many different images and conceptions of God in the Jewish tradition. If you look at the Torah, God sometimes appears and speaks through a burning bush, sometimes on top of a mountain. Sometimes in the Torah, God is referred to as a devouring fire. In the High Holy Days, which are coming up soon, in Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur liturgy, God is depicted sometimes as a king, sometimes as a judge, sometimes as a mysterious sovereign in the heavens. But God is also in the Jewish tradition depicted as an intimate, as a personal friend. And if you really think about it, it's kind of a radical idea that when this song was composed only about 400 years ago, the mystic who put it together, Yedid Nefesh, went away from all of those transcendent ideas of God as other and as mysterious and as all-powerful, and instead chose to pray about God, sing about God as a real close, intimate friend. It's a pretty radical idea when you stop and think about it, but Judaism has lots of different ways of thinking about lots of different things, but that also includes God. So keep that in mind as Gordon leads us in Yedid Nefesh.
Yedid nefesh avrachaman, Yedid nefesh avrachaman, Meshochav lecha, El ritzonecha, Meshochav lecha, Elai lai lai lai, El ritzonecha. Yarutz abdecha kemo hayam, yishtachav elai lai 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 el mul hadrecha. Yarutz abdecha kemo hayam, Mishtakav elai lai 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 el mul hadrecha. Yedid nefesh avrachaman, Yedid nefesh avrachaman, Meshochav lecha, El ritzonecha, Meshochav lecha, la 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 la, El ritzonecha.
The Chatzi Kaddish is on page 144. If you are able, please rise.
Yidkadav, Yidkadash, Shmei Rabbah, Yamav, Yivrach, Yiritev, Yamlich, Malchuteh, Yechaye, Chon Uvyom, Echon, Uchaye, Lechol Beit Yisrael, Bagala, Bagala, Uvizmahan Kahariv, Veimeru, Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah Mevarach, Ve'olam Lo Me'almaya, Yitbarach, Yitbarach, V'yishtabach, V'yitpa'ar, V'yitramam, V'yitnaseh, V'yitadar, V'yitaleh, V'yitalal, Shemei Dekudesha Barichu, Lehilah Mir Kol Birchata V'shirata, Tush B'chata V'nechemata, Da'amiram B'yama, V'yimiru, Amen. Lai la 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 la, Lai la 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 la, Lie, la, lie, 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 la, la, lie, 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 la, la, lie, la, 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 lie. Lie, la, lie, 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 la, lie, 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 la, la, lie, 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 lie. Barechu et Adonai, HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai, HaMevorach, HaMevorach, Le'olam Va'ed. HaMevorach, HaMevorach, Le'olam Va'ed.
Please remain standing and join me at the top of page 149. Praise to you, Adonai our God, from whom the evening flows. Your wisdom sets the way on which time and season glide. Your breath guides the sail of the stars. Creator of the tide of time and light, you guide the current of day into night. As heaven spans to infinity, you set its course for eternity. Praise to you, Adonai our God, from whom the evening flows. Baruch atah Adonai, Hama'ariv Aravim. Let's also read together at the bottom of page 151. Wisdom and wonder, passion and instruction, story and symbol. All these things your Torah gives to us. And the more we devote ourselves to it, the more it grows and gives. What could be a truer token of your abiding love than this holiest of your works and the living language that gives it form? Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed.
Please be seated.
V'yahachta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol meodecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'eleh asher anochi mitzavacha hayom al levavecha v'shinatam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha b'veitecha u'v'lechtecha v'derech u'v'shokbecha u'v'humecha u'kshartam la'ot ayadecha v'hayu latotachot bein einecha u'kshavtam al mezuzot beitecha u'visharecha למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands and marching together. Micha Mochaz on page 158.
מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש, מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש. נורא עושה Kamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'chodesh. Mi kamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'chodesh.
Page 161. Please join me at the top of the page. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up waiting to do your will. Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukat shalom, aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael, va'al Yerushalayim.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, l'shalom. V'hamidenu shomreinu l'chayim. Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha, ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha. Amen. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, l'shalom. V'hamidenu shomreinu l'chayim. Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha, ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha. Amen. Shelter us beneath your wings, O Adonai. Guard us from all harmful things, O Adonai. Keep us safe throughout the night, till we wake with morning's light. Teach us, God, wrong from right. Amen. 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 Amen.
The Amidah prayer is on page 164. If you are able, please rise.
Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi agita hilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'imotenu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel v'Elohei Leah Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanora El Elyon Gomel Chasadim Tovim V'konei Hakol V'zocher Chastei Avot v'Imahot Umevi Geula Livnei V'neihem L'man Shemo B'Ahava Melech Ozeru Moshiach Umagen Baruch atah Adonai Magen Avraham V'Zrat Sarah Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai Mechayeh HaKol Atarav Lehoshia Mechalkel Chayim B'Chesed Mechayeh HaKol B'Rachamim Rabim Somech Noflim V'Rofei Cholim Hu Umatir asurim umekayem emunato lishene afar michamocha ba'gavurot umidom melach melech meimit umechayeh umatmiach Yeshua v'ne'eman atah hachayot hakol Baruch atah Adonai Mechaye hakol Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh Ukdoshim b'chol yom yahalalucha selah Baruch atah Adonai Ha'el hakadosh. Elohai netzor lishonim mira ushpatai medaber mirma velim kalalai nafshi tidom v'nafshi ke'afar lakol tiyeh Elohai. Elohai, I'm on 180 if you want to follow along. Top of page 180. Elohai netzor lishonim mira ushpatai medaber mirma velim kalalai nafshi tidom v'nafshi ke'afar lakol tiyeh Elohai. Elohai. Elohai nitzor lishonim mira ushpatai medaber mirma velim kalalai nafshi tidom v'nafshi ke'afar lakol tiyeh Elohai. Elohai. Petach libi. Petach libi. Petach libi. V'toratecha netzor lishonim mira ushpatai medaber mirma velim kalalai nafshi tidom v'nafshi ke'afar lakol tiyeh Elohai. Elohai. Elohai nitzor lishonim mira ushpatai medaber mirma velim kalalai nafshi tidom v'nafshi ke'afar lakol tiyeh Elohai. Elohai. Did we do the next part too? Oh, let me do it? Okay. Yehiyu l'ratzonim refi v'hegyon libi lefanecha Adonai. Now, anybody who considers being president in the future, this is what you have to do.
But we didn't practice. That's the most important thing.
No, she was just making up her part as she went along. No, we didn't practice since 3 years ago, I think it was. Thank you. That was nice.
That was such a nice surprise. Thank you,
And
Roberta.
here, if you come to high
Zahara.
holiday services,
What's that?
If they come to high holiday services,
Right.
you'll hear.
But I like that. In order to be CBS president, from now on, you have to sing at services.
Yes.
Harmony. Well, we're going to shift gears a little bit. At this point in the service, we think of those in need of healing on this Shabbat, healing of body, healing of spirit, and healing of heart. And we ask God to bestow the bracha, the blessing of refuah shlema, full and complete healing on the following men and women from our community or those known and loved by our congregation. Ilana Massey, Kevin Brackett, Michelle Camissia, Joshua Hyman, Diane Butler, Jesse Friedman, Beverly Eigner, Marjorie Gilberg, Michael Blend, Jim Mates, and Janet Marbury. And if anyone has a name either at home or here that they'd like to add, I invite you to please do so. The Misha Berach is on page 511.
We're going to do this fairly new melody we've been doing, and I've been trying to post stuff and put them on the YouTube channel for CBS if you want to learn them. I don't remember if I did this one or not. I think I did, but... Misha Berach Avotenu Misha Berach Imotenu Avraham Yitzchak Yaakov Sarah Rivka Rachel v'Leah Hu yivarech et hacholim Misha Berach Avotenu Misha Berach V'imotenu Avraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov, Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, v'Leah, Hu yivarech et hacholim.
Shabbat Shalom. Good Shabbos again. Good to see you. I have a piece in the J Weekly. I don't know how many people read the J Weekly, but I write a regular Torah commentary for them. And I wrote one in this week's issue about this week's Torah portion, Ki Tavo, that I'd like to share with you. It's Deuteronomy chapters 26 through 29. At this point, near the end of the book of Deuteronomy, and really near the end of the Torah itself, the Israelites stand at the very threshold of the Promised Land. Moses, along with the elders of the community, instructs their people to create a special dedication ceremony when they have crossed the Jordan River. They're still on the east side of the Jordan at this point. Part of that ceremony involves the public proclamation of blessings and curses, the consequences that will befall the 12 tribes depending on their fidelity to the laws and rules of the covenant. These pronouncements occur on Mount Gerizim and Mount Erbal, which still exist and are in what today would be the northern West Bank. As the people gather on and around the mountains, some of the curses that they hear are quite gruesome. If the Israelites disobey the covenant, quote, "The Lord will strike you with consumption, fever, and inflammation, with scorching heat and drought, with blight and mildew. They shall hound you until you perish." And it goes on, "Your carcasses shall become food for all the birds of the sky and all the beasts of the earth, with none to frighten them off. The Lord will strike you with the Egyptian inflammation," I guess it's a different kind of inflammation, "with hemorrhoids, boil scars, and itch, from which you shall never recover. And finally, the Lord will strike you with madness, blindness, and dismay. You shall grope at noon as the blind grope in the dark. You shall not prosper in your ventures, but shall be constantly abused and robbed, with none to give help." These are pretty harsh punishments, to say the least. Now, to many of us, these curses in Kitavo seem disturbing, hideous, and primitive, a reflection of an ancient mindset that directly linked our actions with divine reward and punishment. And we'll be talking about this tomorrow morning at Torah study. Most of us today do not believe in a God who rewards us for meritorious behavior or who punishes us for our misdeeds. We know, most of us, all too well, that life is much more complicated than that bad things do sometimes happen to good people, that the wicked do sometimes prosper. Similarly, many Jews in our time have doubts about the idea of petitionary prayer, the notion that if we are deserving, God will answer our prayers and fulfill our personal requests. While there are some people who do pray for health, wealth, love, good grades, or even hitting a home run, it is dubious as to how many really believe they will receive a direct positive response to their petitions. It is hard for me to fathom a God who works in such a mechanistic way, like a cosmic Pez dispenser. Guy, that's an American candy. I don't know if you know what that is. And I think it is perhaps best to simply reject the idea that God has any connection to whatever reward or punishment, whatever good or bad we experience in our lives. And yet, it is still possible that our behavior can affect our destiny. And it makes sense that prayer can make a difference in our lives. Our actions have consequences. And even if God does not punish or reward us in a direct, immediate, mechanistic way, we can and often do punish or reward ourselves. When we act with compassion and virtue, when we pay it forward, we can reap riches down the road, an immense sense of satisfaction. Likewise, when we act toward others poorly or in an injurious way, we often harm ourselves in the process. We damage our reputations, our standing in the community, the willingness of others to be in a relationship with us, whether personal or professional. And prayer is not only about asking for things, it is also about expressing gratitude, showing praise, conveying a sense of awe and reverence. Prayer can connect us with God, but it can also put us in touch with important aspects of ourselves, our characters, even our souls. In these ways, we can reinterpret the ideas of reward and punishment, of blessings and curses, so that they no longer seem primitive or irrelevant. We can take ancient concepts and reimagine them in new ways that we find meaningful and applicable to our lives. When we do that, we breathe new life into Judaism and we keep it alive for the next generation. Ken Yehi Ratzon, may it be God's will. Before we turn to page 586 for the Aleinu, Max, would you honor us by opening up the Ark? I don't mean to put you on the spot, but as Max is coming up, everyone please rise.
Aleinu l'shabeach la'adon ha'kol, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הרצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
Thank you, Max. Please be seated. I have the honor now of inviting board member Larry Kamer up to the bima, who is going to share with us some important announcements.
Thank you. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Saturday morning at 10:30, join Rabbi for Torah study, and in the evening at 7, observe Salichot with Rabbi and Gordon, with a reception of light Nash, followed by an outdoor service in the Founders Glen. Next week's Shabbat Oneg is hosted by Carla Del Porto in honor of Mimi Landrigan, and services will be led by Gordon and Nadia. Erev Rosh Hashanah is Saturday the 25th. Services is Sunday the 25th, as it says right here. Sorry. Erev Rosh Hashanah is Sunday the 25th. With services at 7:30, Rosh Hashanah morning, we will have the Young Family service at 9:30 a.m., followed by the youth program at 10:30 a.m., when the general worship service begins. If you have not yet registered for services or begun your membership payments, please do so as soon as you are able. If you need to make special arrangements, please contact Roberta via president@cbsnapa.org email. Tashlik at Kennedy Park with potluck picnic will be on Monday the 26th at 4:30 p.m. Please register online. We want to give warm wishes to this week's birthdays and anniversaries. Happy birthday to David Williams, Wendy Zitter, Ralph Garber, and James Lopez. And I just want to add my congratulations to Wolf and Donna, 65 years. That's pretty amazing, so mazel tov and congratulations. I just, on a note of personal privilege, after service, join us at the Oneg, and you can see one of the other very important responsibilities of a board member, as I will be tending bar. So if you have any interest in joining the board of trustees, I just want you to know we really do have a lot of fun. So anyway, Shabbat Shalom.
We really put you guys to work. Our thoughts now turn at the end of the service to those who are no longer with us, those who have died both recently and in seasons past. We recall and honor those who've died during the preceding 12 months. Erica Cornelison, Gladys Shubin, Richard Magano, Clark Smith, Stephanie Rab-Axner, David Ernesto Kaplan, Pat Pate, Annette Goldberg, Maggie Sherman, Sandra Banco-Fichtenberg, Nicholas Huff, George Montano, Dean Wilson, Norman Charney, David Alpert, Renee Munoz, Michael Cosson, Paul Dworsky, Ed Eston, Micah Bisel, Jill Daly-Katz, and Gabriel Harrison Escalera. We also honor the art sites, the anniversaries of the deaths of Donald David, Harvey Gardner, Eric L. Cochran, Elizabeth Berman Brown, Bernard Water, Patricia Maxine Ertola, Helen DeVore, May Lubinsky, Bert Burson, Benjamin Becker, Morton Kaplan, Carol Reigenham, Ralph W. Kelting, and Grace Catlin. And if anyone has a name that they wish to share, I invite you to please do so. The Mourner's Kaddish is on page 598. If you're able, please rise. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shmei rabbah be'alma divrach herete v'yamlik malkutei b'chayechon v'yomechon uv'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael b'gala uv'izman kariv v'yimru amen. Yehei shmei rabbah mevarach le'alam ulamei olmaya yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei dekudsha b'richu Le'ela min kol berchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, damiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shmaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May the source of peace send peace to all those in mourning and comfort to all those who are bereaved. And let us all say, Amen. Please be seated. Before our Kiddush and Motzi, we have a final song.
We do. Let's do the bottom of page 650. Something we haven't done too much. Psalm 96. I'll start it slow and then we'll speed it up as you learn it. Just a couple lines.
650.
650. Yismachu hashamayim, Yismachu hashamayim, hashamayim, Yismachu hashamayim, B'tagel haaretz. Yismachu hashamayim, hashamayim, Yismachu hashamayim, hashamayim, Yismachu hashamayim, B'tagel haaretz. Yiram hayam, Yiram hayam, Yiram hayam, umalo. Yiram hayam, Yiram hayam, Yiram hayam, umalo. Yismachu hashamayim, hashamayim, Yismachu hashamayim, hashamayim, Yismachu hashamayim, B'tagel haaretz. Yismachu hashamayim. Good, thank you. Yismachu hashamayim, Yismachu hashamayim, B'tagel haaretz.
You have a few plants out there, I know, right?
Yes,
Yes.
I have some plants and they're growing.
And they're growing. Okay, we're going to rise now for the Kiddush and Motzi. Let's do the slightly longer Kiddush tonight, because
Okay.
we have time. Page 123.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho b'ahava u'ratzon hinchilanu, zicharon l'maaseh v'reishit, ki hu yom tehila l'mikrae kodesh, zecher l'tziat Mitzrayim, kivanu v'harta, v'yotanu kidashta, mikol hamim, v'shabbat kodshecha, v'yahava u'ratzon, hinkaltanu, Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. Amen.
L'chaim. And in anticipation of our oneg, let's do the motzi.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. B'tei Avon.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom.